Para que no se apague, mami.
So, man, bro, let me ask you a question, sister.
24 horas.
You know who Aegon is?
No.
You never heard of them? Aegon, they're based in the Netherlands, and they're known. They've been around for 200 years, and what they do everything that has to do with investments, retirement. But once again, they're known out in the Netherlands, and what they did was purchase, excuse me, Transamerica. Have you ever heard of Transamerica?
Yeah.
Where?
With you.
Okay, through
And
me.
on TV.
Oh, you seen them on TV?
Yeah, like the commercials for a life insurance and they come out too.
So they've been around for 100 years. But what Aegon also did was purchase World Financial Group, and World Financial Group is the marketing and distribution arm of Transamerica and Aegon. What does that mean? You know Foot Locker? Mm-hmm. What does Foot Locker do?
They sell shoes.
What kind of shoes?
Sports.
Like
Sneakers,
what brands?
Nike, everything.
Nike, Reebok, Puma, right? So basically, World Financial Group, we're the financial Foot Locker, because we have access to all these companies. So we have access to over 180 companies. They're all A-rated. Which companies you know that are here?
Prudential, Transamerica. I don't think I've heard of Royal.
Oh, you never heard of
I
Voya?
probably have. I don't know. Well, the Transamerica and the Nationwide, obviously. It's on your side.
There
Everybody
you
knows
go.
that one. And the Pacific line,
So what makes us special is that we give people power of choice. So when we meet with a family, we're not pushing a particular product. What we provide is solutions. And what is it that we do? Everything you see here. Apart and much more. So fixed annuities, life insurance, index, universal life, long-term care. So these companies, they did their research to be part of our platform. So what you think that says about World Financial Group?
that they have something that obviously companies want to take advantage of.
That's right. Let me ask you this question: Have you ever missed a train, a plane, or a bus?
Yes, all of the above.
How did that make you feel?
It sucked.
Why did it suck?
Because particularly the plane, because the train you can live with. But the plane, it's like the next time out, you just don't know when you're leaving.
But what's the good news? Even though
That you eventually will get to where you're going to go.
So our mission and vision is no family left behind. Because we understand that here in America, there's two type of families, and one family has been left behind. And to play catch up is gonna take them a really long time, or they just don't know what it is. So how does that look? Family A is many in middle America. Excuse me, those are people who earn 100K and above. I mean less. They have a job. Not that that is bad, but this is how they're living. They have a 401K plan as their only retirement way. Then they have term life insurance. They rent a home. And in New York City, how many people do you know that in a home they rent a room because times is tough? So then they put money in the bank. They have a lot of credit card debt. They have minimal tax advantages. And that's because they don't have no advice and no plan. And this is the majority of the population. So the reason why I'm so passionate and also grateful for this company is that we take people from family A and we try to help them go to family B. Who's family B? That's the 5%ers. So basically, if you earn $250,000 or more, you're part of the 5%. They're typically business owners, right? Because they understand you gotta own your own. They, excuse me, they have permanent life insurance because they want to own it. They're homeowners. They have a diversified portfolio, so meaning they don't have all their eggs in one basket. They're debt free. They have maximized tax advantages. They have a financial professional, and this is a small percent of the population. But what we understand is that most people don't plan to fail; they just fail to plan. So out of what you see here, what stands out to you the most? Excuse me.
Out of the 250K or more.
When you see both families, what's something, and I should ask you, what's something that you see here that they don't have besides the money?
That they don't have besides the money, I would say that they're not debt free. They're not business owners or like, yeah, they don't have maximize to take advantage of taxes. And have a financial professional.
You said it, a financial professional. So what? The way we help family A go into family B is through education, right? Because you play, what sports did you play in school?
The softball.
Softball. If you didn't know the rules to the game, how likely would you win the game?
Actually, I was in a pretty bad team, so we didn't win. But
but did you guys know the rules
yeah,
to the
of course,
game?
Yeah.
If you didn't know the rules, how likely would it be that you would win?
Very unlikely.
Right? So you have to know the rules of the money game. For example, we teach families the financial cornerstones, and there's 4. How many are there?
4.
So first, you gotta have protection. Let me ask you a question. If you had a money making machine in the basement of your home, would you insure that money so that it could keep producing money?
Of course.
So now let me ask you, what's the most important asset that you have when it comes to thinking of protection?
The most important asset that I have currently, in terms of I would say maybe money would be like the most important.
That's the most important.
I think. So.
What produces the money?
My job.
So who has to go to work to produce that money? So now, who do you
I'm
think?
the most important asset.
That's right. So then, we teach people that they have to protect themselves, right? And now when it comes to growth, your money growing, when you put it in a vehicle, what do you want it to do?
Grow. You want it to.
And then we teach people to put their money where it provides a level of safety. Because do you remember what happened in 2008?
Yeah.
What happened?
The recession.
The recession. So then, the recession, what was impacted?
A lot of people's 401ks. Just economy in general, like people's homes, they lost homes, and the value of the homes dropped. So people who wanted to sell lost money also.
That's right. You said something
And
key.
interest rates went up for
Interest rates went up.
student loans.
So you said
that's how it impacted me.
Oh, that's how it impacted you through your student loans?
Yeah, because at the time when I was signing student loans, I think initially it was lower and then it started going up, but it was pretty high during the recession because it lasted a while. But
So the thing is, like you mentioned, 401ks. People's 401k became a 201k. So if we're able to teach people lost 40%, negative 40 of their 401k. So what if we teach people where they can not lose money in a vehicle? Is that something that you think would help people?
of course.
And now, when everyone's gonna pay taxes, but what's something rich people like to make a lot of?
Money.
And what's the least thing they want to pay?
Taxes.
So we teach people where they can legally take advantage of tax. Isn't that powerful?
Yeah, it is.
So
It's
then-
doable, it's great.
I want to show you how we go about doing that. Like, for example, what's the longest trip you've taken
What do you mean?
driving?
Driving? The longest trip?
Excuse me.
When we were in Spain, I think that was like almost a 7-hour. I mean, we did stop, but it was like a 7-hour drive
Oh, that's the longest drive in
I
Spain.
think so.
You went from where to where?
from Pablos Town to the north of Spain.
So what instrument did you use to know how to get to?
Oh, we used the GPS.
So let's just say the GPS got messed up. What would you
Which
depend?
It actually did.
And what
we
did you
had
use?
a map.
And okay, so let's say that map, you lowered the window and it flew out the window. What would you depend on?
Your sense of direction.
And have you ever asked?
Or people. You would stop and ask people.
Have you ever asked somebody for directions and they got you lost?
Yes, and they don't know how to explain directions. Yeah.
So what's more important, learning how to get to a certain physical destination, or learning how to get to financial freedom at retirement?
Well, I mean, in that sense, the financial freedom will be necessary. But if you're going to a particular place, the destination is more important.
But when it comes to retirement,
Yeah, it is.
learning how to be financially independent or financially free, you would agree that's important,
Of course.
right? So we teach people the 6 steps to financial independence. So basically, cash flow. Everybody knows how much they make, but they don't know how to spend. They don't know how they spend their money, or they spend the money, but they don't know where the money goes, right? Then we teach people emergency fund, because an emergency, when it's about to come, there's a knock on your door and say, "Hey, Maribel, get ready, I'm coming,"
Yeah, no.
right? So we teach people that they have to save. It says 3 to 6 here, but we actually tell them they should save 6,
To a year.
6 months to a year,
Yeah,
right? And then debt management,
yeah, that's very important.
we teach them how to consolidate debt and strive to eliminate debt. Excuse me. Proper protection. When it comes to proper protection, did you know that you may qualify for a free upgrade?
Upgrade of what?
For life insurance. Did you know you may qualify for a free upgrade? What that means is that you can keep the same amount and pay less, or stay, get more coverage. Get less coverage for the
The same amount.
same amount. But then we also teach people how to build wealth. Basically, show them, strive to outpace inflation and reduce taxes. And then if you do all this correct, we teach you how to preserve your wealth, reduce taxation, and then build a family legacy. Out of these 6 steps, which one do you think which one resonates most with you?
Build wealth.
Build wealth. Okay. In order to build wealth, do you think you have to make more money?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, you do.
I should ask you, if you made more money, would that be more helpful in building wealth?
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me show you the opportunity that we have. Because would you agree that there's a phrase that says, you need to be the right person in the right time? Being the right person at the right time, with the right company. But that's a halfway phrase. You have to be the right person, right? So in our industry, you know about the baby boomers,
Yeah.
right? So the people who were born between 1946 and 1964. Let's say, put on your entrepreneurial hat. Let's say you knew that 78 million babies were going to be born. What kind of business would you get into?
Baby business. I would do selling diapers, clothing. I would even do like for breastfeeding mothers.
Okay.
I would do clothing for them, stuff like that.
You know who Gerber is?
Of course, yeah.
So Gerber, at that time, before 1946, they were selling 600 jars of baby food per week. You think that that's a pretty good business?
Of course.
Right? But when the baby boomers hit, it jumped from 600,000 to 6 million.
Oh wow.
So this group is so important to America because they
Boosted the economy.
boosted the economy, and they made certain names for certain companies. Like you see toys, Hasbro, Mattel, they became a household name. Then fast food industry. You know McDonald's. How much does it cost to open McDonald's now?
I think like $1 million or more than $1 million, maybe $2 million.
Just to submit an application and the money's not refundable is $75,000. But
Wow.
our parents missed out on McDonald's back in the day because all you needed to start a McDonald's was $12,000
Wow.
back in the days. But then,
So they didn't want us to eat it.
no, they
So
didn't.
they wouldn't have opened one.
That's right. But then the car business boomed because that's where you had the minivan, the concept of the minivan, and that's because of the baby boomers. In the 1980s, they were getting married. They were starting their family. What do you think boomed?
Real estate.
The real estate. And now, what is that group getting ready to do?
Retire. Yeah, a lot of them are retiring.
So you know that every 7 seconds, somebody's turning 65.
Oh, wow.
And for the next 17 years, this is going to be for the next 17 years.
Okay, wow.
So imagine, this is the baby boomers. And now, who comes after them? Generation X and the millennials. And that's 112 million. So imagine if they had a situation with their money. Imagine who's coming
These
after
are
them.
worse because these kids have like no concept.
No, you said it. They have no concept. And on top of that, there's going to be a shortfall of 200,000 advisors by the year of 2022.
What do you mean? What advisors?
Financial advisors, financial coaches. But the beautiful thing about what we do, it's a unique business platform. What does that mean? You don't need no financial services experience. So somebody like yourself who's bilingual, you have people skills, you deal with a lot of people, that's exactly what we're looking for. But only if you qualify, right? But you can test drive the opportunity, start part-time, so that just means keep your job, do this on a part-time basis or a referral basis. And our goal is to help you surpass your full-time income on a part-time basis. Then there's no time clock, so you're your own boss. There's unlimited earning potential, leadership development and mentoring business models, strength on your side, the power of choice, business expansion, the WFG business system. So much that you can enjoy on our business platform. How does that sound?
Sounds interesting, but no financial service experience is kind of that sounds like I don't know. It's hard.
It's hard?
Yeah, because think about it. If you have no financial experience, how are you going to give somebody else like financial
Oh,
advice?
what that means to come on board, right?
Oh, okay.
You don't have, that's not a requirement for you to get hired.
Okay.
So let's say the beauty is if you don't have background in financial services, we look for people like that because we'll train you with our system. But that's a great question. And do you think, excuse me, do you think it's important to know how we get paid?
Of course.
Because we get paid 18 different ways, but I'm only going to cover 5. You have personal income. That's right. We get paid 18 different ways, 2 times a week, 8 times a month, and sometimes 9 times a month. So personal income means what you do is the pen you write with, you get paid. So if you help somebody save, for example, $200 a month, $2,400 a year, is that a lot of money? Somebody saving $2,400 a year?
No.
Right? So let's just say you help somebody do that. On average, you'll get paid about $1,000. You do that with 4 people, on average, per month, this is what the monthly income.
If you help somebody save $2,400
a year.
a year, you make
On
you can
average,
make
$1,000 per person.
But how is that?
The companies pay us a finder's fee. But how awesome is that we get paid by helping people, teaching people how to save money,
That's good. That's really good.
right? And then you have an agency income. Basically, if you were a manager and you teach somebody else to do the same thing that you do, you have the potential of earning almost 100K. But this is on average, because then you have what's called expansion income. You can build a business in another state and somebody else builds it for you. Recurring income. That means you help somebody once and every year you get paid. You get paid on that. So imagine you've helped 1,000 people. You keep getting paid on those 1,000 people for life. How does that sound?
That's great.
Right? And then you have bonus income. So
But how do you get paid for helping somebody? Like you said you get paid for life for helping that person one time.
that's right. Because if they maintain their policy active,
So as long as they maintain their policies, you keep getting paid for it whenever they renew it.
that's right. That's great. But this is 5 different ways that we get paid.
Okay.
And then that's basically what I wanted to show you.